Hi, this is Jim Cranston from 7 Every Minute and 7everyminute.com, the podcast and website about reimagining your life. Thanks for joining me today to talk about being a leader. So let's get started. If you like what you hear today, please leave a like and tell your friends and send me a message. Thanks for joining me tonight to talk about how, or really why, you need to be a leader. Tonight is a different workflow, by the way, again, because Facebook is still mysteriously not allowing live broadcasts from my particular page. It's a pretty common discussion on the internet, and Meta, of course, is not saying anything about it. But, as always, change is opportunity. And I had been considering using a different workflow for some time, so it seems like the best time to do it is now. And I hope you didn't miss that little golden nugget that went by there. Truly, change is always opportunity for those who are willing to act upon it. But back to the topic at hand, namely being a leader, or more specifically, why you have to be a leader in the areas that matter to you. I'm a big believer that life provides us many little hints if we decide to pay attention. So over the past few days, I've been seeing many references to leading your way to goals, to successes, happiness, and everything else. Sometimes life's hints aren't too subtle, but I started thinking more about it in the context of many things, not just work, but also life in general. Most of us are pretty responsive to someone who is a leader. You've been in many situations, probably you show up, for the cleanup event or whatever at a social gathering, and somebody starts handing out tasks, and most people either just start doing them or maybe they offer some suggestions, but somebody stood out as a leader. But in our own lives and in our own immediate circle of friends, who's the leader? Are we actively leading ourselves to happiness and achievement? Or are we waiting for someone else to tell us what to do? The danger here, which you've often talked about, is that if we don't lead ourselves, society and circumstances will lead us in directions that may not be in our own best interests. We'll be led to, consume excessively, to be like everyone else, to dress a certain way, whatever, and not be led towards working towards our own vision and goals. One of the interesting things about life is realizing that every situation has a leader. There's no exceptions to that. Either you're leading your own life, or someone else or some other entity is doing it for you, or else the situation and circumstances themselves are dictating what happens. Sometimes that may be fun, such as going out for a day trip and randomly turning and seeing where you end up. I did that once with a friend, and we had a delightful time together. We just go, let's try there, let's try there. It was a lot of fun. But in reality, we were still leading ourselves in determining our day, even if doing it in a random manner. But I also know people who truly are reluctant to take charge of their own life. Not surprisingly, they're really, not too often happy with the outcome. So I hope you see that you have to be actively leading yourself in your own life. That may be, deciding to relinquish leadership to someone else in a particular situation. House is on fire, the firemen come in. Obviously, you follow the directions, but that was a conscious decision. But you're still setting the rules for how you will live. But what about all the other circumstances and situations in your life, such as work, recreation, relationships, faith, finances? The list is probably endless. Well, you have to be your own leader in all of them as well. Again, it doesn't mean you have to be making all the decisions for the whole group, and you may elect to let someone else decide, lead for a while and decide to follow what they're leading, but it always has to come from a position of leadership and power over yourself, not by letting circumstances dictate some unknown outcome. You might be saying, well, that sounds like a lot of work, being in charge of myself all the time. Well, it's actually less work than not planning what you want to do and then trying to undo some situation you find yourself in. And, there's probably a lot less taxing on yourself than being unhappy with your circumstances and having that weigh down on you all the time. Because being your own leader brings you the freedom to live towards your vision and set meaningful goals in your life, both large and small. Think about how empowering it is to get up in the morning and think, yes, today I will accomplish the one thing that will allow me to make progress towards my goal. Sounds pretty powerful and kind of enabling, right? Now think about getting up, dreading every moment of your morning until you drag yourself out to a situation you don't like, and the rest of the day considers the same way. Sounds exhausting, right? Again, and it's very important, this doesn't mean every second is a bundle of fun, but when you get up and you're working to accomplish the one thing, it may be something distasteful, cleaning out your basement or having a difficult conversation with a team member at work, or there's a lot of difficult things to do, but it will be far less difficult because there's the built-in reward of knowing it is moving you closer towards your vision and the ideal life as you envision it. Obviously, we can take the discussion of leadership into many different areas, but the concept remains the same. Someone is going to control the situation, and as importantly, your role in that situation. Even if you don't want to be the overall leader, you will probably feel more satisfaction and if you just at least actively are leading yourself in whatever is happening to you. Life is complex, but so are people. What is perfect for someone else may be very dissatisfying for you. So celebrate your own uniqueness and work to guide your own life towards the vision and goals that you've set for yourself, and don't just accept some random outcome. That's it for the evening. Remember to be your own advocate and leader, and always keep your own personal vision in mind as you make decisions. Lead yourself to the outcome you desire. Your homework, always optional, is to think about a recent situation and your role in it. Were you the overall leader, your own advocate and leader, or did you just kind of let the situation happen and go along with whatever then resulted? Extra points if you reframe that same situation in a way that led to an outcome more aligned with your vision and goals. Then really envision it and see if think if you felt more energized and pleased with the outcome and just happier overall by the fact that you were actively directing your own path through that situation. So that's it. Again, please remember, as always, ukr7.com, and here we are. Links to ways to support Ukraine. There's many other ways online. A lot of people have links there. So please remember, there are many wars active in the world right now, Ukraine and elsewhere. Please keep all those people in mind. And if you don't want to support Ukraine directly, another organization I highly recommend, World Central Kitchen. They're active. They were active in Palestine, but they are active generally over the in many disaster situations around the world. And there's a lot of other groups. It doesn't have to be one of these two. There's a lot of other people where you can be involved and help. And if you're not in a situation or not of a mindset to donate money or whatever to somebody, just remember that always thinking outside yourself, thinking about the world around you, it gives you a different perspective on the world. So even you're just walking down the street, see somebody, say, hey, I hope you have a good day. Just smile at somebody. Something as simple as that can really turn somebody's day around. One of the best ways to care for yourself is to care for others. And you can do that big and large all the time. So, as always, thanks for stopping by. If you found something interesting or useful, please pass it along, and please hit that like button. If not, please drop me a comment as to what you'd like to hear. Have a great week. Remember to live the life that you dreamed of, because that's the path to true contentment. Love and encouragement to everyone. See you next week on 7 Every Minute and 7everyminute.com. Thank you.